We don't see enough Black men sitting down having conversations about grief and about loss. You just don't.
And a lot of Black men are experiencing that. We've normalized our trauma.
Correct.
And that's a scary thing to where you just internalize it and become a ticking time bomb in that space.
What's one thing that people get wrong about grief?
That it has a timetable.
Yeah.
That it's going to be that you will get over it. Nah, that's not how that works.
So we only got one way to do this, and that's together. Let's go. Welcome to episode 1 of Good Grief. Some of you guys know my journey, and some of you guys maybe are seeing me for the first time. Grief has been something that's been very intimate to me, and the loss and the experience that my family has had has been something that's been very public. And through that experience, what I learned from it is that there's so many other people who experience grief, but we don't necessarily talk about it. We don't hear people talk about it. We don't necessarily even have the platforms or the venues or the space or the proper timing to have these type of conversations around grief. And so I wanted to create a space where I can talk to people who I know, who I care about, who I know also share a grief journey about it. And I think from this, we're gonna find out that, there are crosses that so many people are carrying that you just wouldn't even know. And the hope is that in us talking and having these conversations around grief, we will find out the most important thing that I think anybody who is experiencing grief should know, and that's that you're not alone. We all have a journey. We all have a cross that not everyone gets to see and not many people know we bear. But this is a space that we're going to let it be known, and that we're going to have these conversations, and we're going to get on to the healing. So welcome to Good Grief. That's my monologue.
That was beautiful.
All right, that's my monologue. That's my monologue.
That was beautiful.
So listen, man, today I couldn't think of a better person to start this conversation with, because I wanted it to be organic. Yeah. And I wanted it to be where, I didn't have to do research on somebody, and I could just really be like,
we've been through some shit together.
You understand what I'm saying?
We've been through some things. Yeah.
And two, let's be real. We don't see enough Black men sitting down having conversations about grief and about loss. You just don't.
And a lot of Black men are experiencing that. And it's so taboo.
Correct.
It's so common that
Correct.
we've normalized our trauma.
Correct.
And that's a scary thing to where you just internalize it and become a ticking time bomb in that space.
So to those people who are meeting my brother for the first time, this is the Mr. Scotty Smart, community organizer, political strategist, field organizer, mastermind. This is somebody who, if you want to make sure that your word, your message, your well-meaning is known in the community, you need to know this guy. But also, if you're somebody who's not looking out for the people, he's going to make sure that they know about you too.
It's a balance. It's a balance. And thank you. I'm just blessed to be here, man. Like I said, that monologue, your opening was so beautiful, and it really just brought everything together while we're here today.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Listen, so, a lot of people, when they hear the word grief, automatically the first thing I think that comes to mind is death.
Yeah.
I guess my first question to you is when you hear the word grief, what comes to mind?
One, I think you don't understand it until you go through it. But I think as I've gone through my grief journey, I think it exposes a different vulnerability that most people aren't comfortable with. And I think that's the trigger for most people. It's such a painful experience to live through that we aren't often willing to be that vulnerable in front of others. And so I think that's why the conversations don't happen.
Yeah.
Because it's a tearjerker.
And when you say vulnerable, What does that look like for you? Because I think everybody has like different degrees of what vulnerability is, right? Like, so for you, what do you feel like is a way that grief stretched you in a way to be more open that you had not been open before?
Well, I think it's like an honesty with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be honest and say like, I'm feeling a pain.
Mm.
And I think for me, I was I don't cry tough. I was raised in the, most would say, my dad's a therapist, so he even says a masculine toxic environment.
Right.
Where men are just men.
Hyper masculine.
I'm here.
Yeah. And you feel like your dad imposed that on you, even with him being a therapist?
He wasn't a therapist in my childhood.
So he ain't had that growth yet.
No. No, my dad had me at 23. He was 23 when he had me. He wasn't a therapist until he was about 50.
Right. So you got the YN version of that.
I got paid in full right out of New York, Bronx, New York.
Right.
Went to the Navy and started to change his life around, Dad.
Right.
So like he was Navy, militant.
Right.
Trying to change his life around, do the right things.
Right.
Became a teacher in his early 20s and went to the Navy, and like that is what I got. So to see him 50, 60 years, like he didn't get into therapy until the pandemic did, like 2015, 2020.
Right.
In the last 10 years, you know.
So isn't it fair to say though that, you know, our generation of dads most definitely were probably the last generation of just like real hard-nosed dads.
Oh, for sure.
Where like hyper masculinity is just mass accepted, and that's what fathering looked like.
Yes.
That's what everybody got.
Punching your chest, like you don't cry, like nah, bro. We don't do no emotions, like.
You know what's funny, yo? We were that generation that used to say like, you know, I ain't gonna do my kids like that. I ain't gonna do my kids like that, and they'd be like, yeah, wait, you just see, wait. And you know what? And Christian looking at me right now, but boy, you got the soft parenting life, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's different. You know what I mean? But also, I'm so grateful for that relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm so grateful for that structure. I didn't realize till I got older that so many people don't have that relationship.
Did you, as a youngster, experience your father grieve?
No. Mm-mm. Nope, not at all. I didn't experience my father grieve to the first time I grieved until we were adults. My grandmother, his mom passed. And when his mom passed, I think that's probably like the first time I heard my dad cry. That phone call sits in my soul. Like, whoo, like.
Say more.
Him finding out his mom passed away and him having to call me. I can repeat that, and that was maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was 21, 22, the oldest grandchild. That was my first experience with grief.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think none of us knew how to grieve at that point, but no, I didn't have grief before then, to that magnitude. I had probably like an older aunt pass away when I was like 7, 8 years old, but real, like not knowing how to deal with it. My grandmother passed, I think 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And to even hear my dad, like I said, I think that was the first time I've seen my dad cry and be vulnerable to that extent.
What stuck out to you in that experience? Like I think for myself about, I remember the first time I saw my father cry. I was probably about 8, 9 years old, and I was at my great grandmother's funeral, and I never met her before, and we, you know, had come up to Jersey from Georgia where we were living at the time for the funeral. And I remember seeing my dad, he didn't sob, but he wept, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that was the first time I ever seen anything like that. And I just remember because it stands out to me because I could only count but so many times that I saw that level of emotion and vulnerability from my dad. And so then I, you know, as a Black man, I think to myself, what impact did not seeing that level of vulnerability be normalized have on how we felt we were to process grief and show emotion while going through grief. Like,
that's the perfect situation and scenario that I went through, because I don't think I grieved. Like, I don't think, like, I was the oldest grandchild. I think I took so much on in that moment, like, that I don't think I grieved my grandmother's death until like 5 years afterward. I was like 22, 23. I didn't really know how to grieve, and I didn't know how to really accept it and really process it. And so I think I ran from it. I buried myself in just being busy, which most people do.
Facts. Facts.
And so I don't think I never really, I think it was a moment where someone asked me to write an article. I had to write about it, and I really sat and thought about it. And I just started bawling. And I was like, I'm really crushed by this. Like, my grandmother was probably like my first big cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, growing up, she lived with us. And so had my back against whatever. I was special at Thanksgiving. I had my
come on now.
I had my own sweet potato pie.
Come on now.
You know, everybody had sweet potato. No, this is Scotty's sweet potato.
That's right.
Like, y'all, like,
yes.
I was the first grandchild.
That's
and so, like, but also in that moment, the masculinity came in, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I don't think until I wrote that article, I think it was called like The Missing Piece of My, I think it was like The Missing Piece of My Joy. And my grandmother's name is Joyce.
Okay.
And so I think when someone asked me to write about it was just a random article, but that was when I began to process. Like, I never really sit and process. I think we go through life so fast every day that we don't really sit and process what we feel or how we feel in moments, and how it has a lasting impression on us. And so I think, I didn't know how to grieve. I didn't know how to process. I didn't know how to accept what I had went through. And I think that was my first interaction with grief, was like, not real. Like, that was, and I think it took me a really, really long time, because I knew how much she meant to me, that it was a pain I wasn't really willing to accept at that time.
But you say you didn't feel like you really grieved until 5 years later, right?
Until I processed it, yeah.
What did the grief in the initiation of the actual grief process for you, like, what did it look like?
Just recanting memories. I think, like, the biggest thing I've learned is, like, the things that make that person show up in your mental space. You know, and like I said, Thanksgiving will never be the same for me. And accepting that was so hard. Like I don't want to be the Grinch around the holidays, because I'm super pro-black and things like that. But you know what I'm saying? But I had to really, like, my Thanksgiving, my holiday spirit was taken away.
Yeah.
And I think that was a thing. And so it was just different forms of, like, things that triggered a memory.
Yeah.
And processing, like, a song that may come on. I remember Drake had a song where it's like, "Look what you've done." And it has like the voicemail with his grandma, and that might have been like the right when that happened. I was like,
got you.
Ooh, that right there, like little things like that were just like triggers. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know how to identify my triggers. Yeah. And so I wasn't as deep into the emotional intelligence space yet. Yeah. And so I was just like, fight it.
So speaking of, right, so some people, you know, I don't know, they feel a way about the word trigger or what have you, but let's just call it what it is, right? Like those things that show up that kind of like punch you in the face and you don't necessarily expect it, right? What are some of the grief triggers that you have that you would have never expected that now, like, they definitely...
I think it's so crazy because I've lost friends my age. Yeah. And so, like, for instance, with Trouble of School situation, like, I've been around the entire city with him. So, like, going to, like, Cheetah, we used to go there, like, once or twice. That one really, like, I haven't been there. I think I've been there once since he passed. Like, that used to be my spot, you know? So, like, just the, like, 4th of July, we had a thing where they had a block party in the Bluff, you know, and in my heart of hearts, it felt so good, but I just kept expecting that yellow Corvette to hit that corner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's, like I said, it's just a memory thing, like going through patterns and going through life and just like where I have things I want to revisit. Say for instance, in the entrepreneurship space. Like remember I used to do Juneteenth.
Yeah.
I lost 2 people from the team that were on Juneteenth.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to really get into doing June. Like folks be like, bring back the culture ball and thing. And I'd be like, yeah, 2 main people that really drove that behind me aren't here.
Right.
So it's hard to get the other people who were involved as excited because they brought the other people to the table.
Right.
And so it's just different forms of it. You know, it's just different things you go through a day. And it just depends on how much you were involved with the person in your day-to-day life. I think one of my biggest triggers is my boredom sometimes. Like me and Joker did so much. So when I'd be like, I don't got shit to do. I would always school. And he's life of the party. He got
something going on.
Something going on. I don't got to do nothing. All I gotta do is call him and pull up.
Yeah.
The rest of the day is cool. And so I had to learn to be bored. Be okay with that. I think that was a trigger. Like when the weather's nice, and I'd be like, "Ooh, I know Atlanta outside. I know, I know the city outside." And I'd be like, I don't really know who I really want to get outside. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And then it's just so many things, man. Like, it's so many different triggers I've experienced. It's just like I said, it's something that triggers a memory. Like, I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing I've learned.
For me, man, used to love going to the beach. That was like that was my thing, bro. If I can get to it, I don't care. It could be Georgia Shore, Florida. It ain't got to be nowhere extra sexy. Just, can touch some sand. And now that's been like stolen from me, right? I haven't really spent any time on a beach or touched like open water like that since, Bryce. And so that's been stolen, right? Which then gave me actually like in the desert.
Okay.
So like I like going out to Vegas. I like going to the Red Rocks. Like not even being on a strip. I like going to like the desert and like being out there. It's just different. It's like I want to go to Sedona. I got some places on my list like that I want to hit. You never know. You never realize how many drowning scenes and submersion scenes there are in movies until it's a thing that you pay attention to. So now for me, it's like watching, so many action movies and different things like that. And it's always some type of submersion scene, somebody getting resuscitated from being submerged, stuff like that in the movie. And it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, bro, like shortly after Bryce passed, bro, we go see The Little Mermaid with Chloe in it, right? Sure enough, I didn't even think about the scene with Eric in the very beginning where he about drowned and he gets saved and whatnot. And he has a scar like over his eye. And Bryce had a scar over his eye in the same place. And so for me, it was just like, oh man,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Another thing for me, like seeing people talk to their kids with like a mean spirit. Hatefully, you know what I'm saying? Like degrading like that, like really bothers me. Yeah. And so, I've just become like very, very sensitive to certain things. And even more like, I don't know, like I just try to protect myself from being exposed to certain stuff that I know would put me in that sensitive place.
Yeah.
But man, sometimes it hits you and you don't.
Let me ask you a question. I remember I was with you and there's something triggered me. I just want to ask you, how did you feel in that moment? Because I was triggered. With you being a school board member, dealing with so many graduations.
Oh.
And we were at Bryce's graduation. Boy, I was boo-hooing. Boy, I was front, and I couldn't even imagine your perspective of it because in my mind, I was just like, I saw everybody having so much fun and jubilant, like they were, and I was sitting in the front row like, this is some bullshit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
Like that was like one of the worst.
I mean,
I remember thinking that.
Can we preface with grief is some bullshit, bro?
it's nonstop bullshit. It's like it's like, damn, I gotta deal with this bullshit. Like that's what I always feel like, bro. I got never ending bullshit. Like I remember, like I said, you know, being there during so much of what you went through. But that moment there stands out to me as one of the moments I was just like, I cannot imagine what it feels like from your perspective.
Man, so let me tell you, bro. First off, my grief journey with Bryce has been like this oxymoronic experience, right? So like there's this huge loss, but then there's this huge pride, right? It's like, bro, you're a whole hero. Like we got whole wall over there, all the recognition that this young man received in just his short period of time here on earth. Letters from the President of the United States, letters from United States senators, the governor of Georgia, like, I mean, just across the board. And so there's that pride, but then there's like, what was the price of it all? Right? So no matter how proud you are, like the price is never going to feel worth it. All right. Right. When Bryce passed, one of the things that I knew was it was already, because this is the part, we were sitting right here planning when I was going to run for school board on that day. We would decide what the date was going to be that we were going to make the announcement. And then we get the phone call that they can't find him in the water for 20 minutes. So what I was already committed to do was already in place, right? Bryce, in fact, helped to design my logo for the campaign, right? Bryce passes, we go through all the things that we go through. One of the things that I knew was if I won the school board seat, then I would have the opportunity as a school board member to give the commencement speech at the graduation, which would be a year later, right? That was secretly one of my biggest motivations to win that race, bro.
Okay.
Was just having the opportunity, because I knew there was going to be an empty seat there with his gown on it, that he wouldn't be there to receive that diploma. But man, imagine if I would be able to have that opportunity to give that speech for his graduation.
Right.
That was the shit that, like, when I felt like I ain't had nothing left to run in that race, and all the odds was against us because we ran against an incumbent, and as you know, people don't beat incumbents like that. That was the fire. Then you get to the day. Let me tell you, bro. The Pomp and Circumstance song, ba, 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 ba. First off, I know that boy by heart. The whole scale of it, all of it, bro. That shit is like traumatic to me. Every time I hear that song, bro. That song is Boys in the Hood, Ricky in the alleyway, saxophones. Okay? That boy is daunting. Every time I hear it, and it's so odd. And again, back to everything being oxymoronic, it is a time of jubilation. It's a time of joy. It's a time of celebration. It's a time of achievement. It's a time of accomplishment. Like, that is a moment to absolutely be celebrated. But man, it's so stolen from me.
For sure.
And a big part of my existence is in working my ass off to make sure I get that one to that day at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? Have him be the valedictorian so he can give a speech or something to that effect. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that, you know, I can get a little bit of healing out of that.
Right.
But yeah, bro, like, and this is the part, as a school board member, not only every year do I have to attend the graduation of Bryce's school, but also I got to attend about 14 other graduations. You know what I'm saying? And the school I work at.
Yeah.
None of them are easy. Maynard is exceptionally like,
For sure.
I'm talking about, bro, I just be leaking tears, like standing up there, like as the kids are coming out, like to their seats, like, and it almost like, and what I do appreciate is everybody know what's up. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like, man, what's wrong with him? Right. What's she about to crack or something? But it goes into, did we ever see men be able to be comfortable to be that kind of vulnerable? You know, here I am, publicly elected, citywide elected. I'm standing in front of thousands of people on their kids' day, and I'm crying.
Well, I think we need more of that, though. I think we need a whole lot more of that in the emotional intelligence space.
Yeah.
Because so many men have buried their emotions, and so many men are ticking time bombs because of it, that if we can be the ones that express the vulnerability that's necessary to heal, I think that's needed right now. You know, I think that's why we're doing this.
Yeah. No, I agree 1,000%. And I think what I appreciate is when people see me being vulnerable in that kind of way, man, there's so many people who share with me the stuff that they gone through that you wouldn't even know. And I think in a lot of ways it's helped me to be humanized to a lot of people. And I think so humanized me in a way that other people feel comfortable being absolutely human with me. And that's why I do feel called to even initiate and having these conversations, because that's what I want to provide to folks, is like the opportunity. Like I'm no therapist or anything like that, right? But I also believe that, like, you know, we probably need a lot less therapy if we had much better friends.
For sure.
And
For sure.
And so I really just want to create the space to like be a better friend.
Yeah.
That being said, man, you know, it's a lot of people who feel like, you know, they want to show up for you, or like they always say, like, you know, I got your back whenever you need. Whatever you need, right?
Whatever you need.
What's the wrong way for people to show up for you?
I don't know if it's a wrong way. I just think that, like, I think that people tend to show up for themselves more than the person.
Ooh. Wait, go in. Go in.
They show up to show up and say, I showed up. But did they really show up to listen to what the person's actually going through, and how they need for you to show up? I think with Trouble being such a big figure, I feel like everyone wanted to show up in that moment, right? And I felt like it was smothering at that time. Because I had been through so much prior to that, and no one was really there and besides him. And so I had to really learn how to process this one without him. And that was really difficult. But also with so much fanfare, and so many people see him as an artist that they love. And I had to learn how to accept that too. But also understand you don't know what the fuck is going on behind the scenes, and you're not checking on his mom, his sister, his kids. So it's different. Like your fandom is different than what I'm going through. But so yeah, it's just showing up for people is interesting. I think you have to be more socially aware of the person and how they need you to show up, but also understand that showing up isn't like a timetable. I think so many people expect you to move on from it. Like, no, my life has changed. Like the trajectory of my life may have changed. It has changed. I'm doing great, but I think I could be doing a whole lot better if I didn't lose 3 of my best friends that were into business, that were community involved. Like, I think like the trajectory is different. It's still good. I'm still grateful, but I think people, until you experience it, you don't understand how deep it really is for someone to get over it. Like, get over it should even be a language in grief.
Right.
You're never over it. Right. Grief is a never-ending process if you truly love someone.
I would almost say, like, it's like some losses, it creates like a before and an after.
For sure.
Like for you, like who has created that before and after for you? Or has there been several of them?
I think I never experienced it to that magnitude until Trouble died.
Yeah.
And then I realized like so much of my life was different. Because the normalcy was broken. I had a normalcy of doing my work, I'm gonna hit school. Doing my work, I'm gonna hit school. I never had to really try to do things. It was always
I ain't had to make my own fun.
I was Scotty Pippen to the maximum. Like, come on, like what? I never had to like. So after work, it became such a void.
Yeah.
And so there was a before and after. Like, what do you want to do with yourself after you're done doing your thing? You know, and so I think that was I think the normalcy being broken in your life. Like, for instance, I don't know what someone may feel like losing a child or a parent or losing a parent.
Right.
But I'm also sure that's a different level of normalcy.
Something different, yeah.
Depending on the relationship you have with them. Like, I couldn't imagine. I talk to my mom every day. So to give it to you like this, my mom and Trouble were probably the only two people I spoke to every single day at that point. Like, I remember getting a DUI because of some shit, and the only person that knew I was missing for 48 hours, like, I knew something was wrong because I talked to you every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you wasn't answering. So I think that created a before and after for me personally to really have to rebuild.
Yeah.
Everything. Like I said, rebuild the normalcy.
I would say like I've had at least two.
Okay.
So before, when Bryce was 10, Crystal and I lost a daughter to premature birth she was 24 and a half weeks. She only lived for 4 or 5 hours. And, she was in the NICU and she was so small. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have her handprints and footprints tattooed here. And these are like legit, like to scale the size that her handprints and footprints were. And these were Christians when he was born. So that kind of tell you like normal baby size to how small, you know what I'm saying, she was. And, I just remember watching like, her breathe her last breath in my hands. Ooh. And that, that changed me.
For sure.
And that had a big, big, big impact on everything for me. And it was one of those things that like created the before and the after, right?
Yeah.
And then I experienced what I experienced with Bryce. And that completely changed everything.
Right.
And then there was a new before and after.
Yeah.
Right? And the level of grief was absolutely different because in my mind, I had already lost a child, so I knew what the pain of losing a child felt like. But then I had not lost a child who had lived for 16 years, was a whole person, had their own whole life, was loved by so many people outside of me. You know what I'm saying? And then experienced that. That was like,
yeah.
The first loss was like the warm up for what I had to go through next.
That makes sense.
And so, I had learned like, man, these losses that we grieve, man, they're so different.
Yes.
They come with different kind of weight, different kind of circumstances, different kind of everything. Like none of it is the same. And so like, when I would see all these books and all these things out there and they talk about like, the 7 steps of grief process and, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, cliche stuff.
Right. I'm like,
it sounds good.
I'm like, you lying.
It sounds great.
Man, because
real cute.
Because it ain't like that. It ain't like that. Like, bro, your grief is not linear. It's straight up a roller coaster. Like the board be everywhere, but it's beyond a roller coaster because like you cannot see what's coming.
It's an emotional roller coaster. That's what I consider life. It's just a whoo, and I'm just here, just hey.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so real. I think it really is an emotional roller coaster, and there's nothing that can prepare you for it. There's nothing. And I thought the work that I've done with victims of police brutality, I've been there for families and I've seen them grieve. But there's a difference in grief when you have the ability to put it down.
Right.
When you can stop thinking about it, when it's not someone connected to your everyday normalcy, you can put it down and walk away. So like if someone died and there was a victim of police brutality, I didn't know them to the extent. I just knew I met them after the fact. So I was there I know their family more than I knew that person first.
That's right.
And so even that never prepared me for my own levels of grief. And I think like that year of 2022, when I just kept losing people back to back, it was just like, it was unbelievable. Just the level of shock that I experienced, just losing so many people in such a short period of time, that the emotional roller coaster was just like stunning, like in awe of like, this is, I remember one of my friends was like, bro, people around you are dying. I was like, yeah, I know.
I'm here.
I'm helping plan funerals. Like this is crazy. I remember my dad telling me like, you've lost more people at 35 than I've lost at 60, I think he was.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
And
to that point, let me ask you this though. How has going through all of those losses affected how you love people that are here with you?
I think even beyond that, it's made me just so aware of the day. Just so in tune with intentionality to reach out to the people that are here that I care for. But the reality of it could be over tonight. The reality that somebody ain't waking up tomorrow is really prevalent to me. And so I move with a certain purpose and a certain intentionality that I really am intentional with everything that I do. And so I value the moment. I value the day. I don't take opportunities for granted. I'm usually like, if someone's like, hey, what are you gonna do something like tomorrow?
Yeah, that's
like,
it. That's facts.
How soon?
That's
like,
facts.
Like how
you got me motivated to get up and go on this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's triggered me. Well, not triggered me, but I've learned the most throughout the process is like the reality of the gift of life.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. How fragile it is.
The ability to be present is the present. Like we're here.
Bro, that's something that I've been on, and I'm talking about to the level of like, put the phone down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like not be distracted, like legit, like get locked in.
Be aware.
For real.
Like enjoy the moments.
I used to post 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Same.
Bro, I might post 3, 4, 5 times a month now, and not, not for nothing, but because I'm more so living it.
Yeah.
Than focus on documenting and amplifying it, et cetera, et cetera. But now I will say this, I do feel called for a responsibility to balance it, because I do think like there are conversations that need to be had, that need to be platformed, that God has positioned me to do.
Yeah.
So I got to do that.
For sure.
But also, like for me, I'm in the season of like, if it's not meaningful, I don't want no part of it.
For sure. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's all about impact at this point, bro.
Amen.
It's about impact.
And legacy.
Yeah. It's building that thing, That's why I really went through and finally finished the book. And it was just like, yeah, this is a legacy thing that can live on beyond me. And I think grief actually makes you start thinking about that.
Yeah.
What happens when my time comes? Have I built a big enough impact to live on beyond my years? I think I remember I used to always talk about that. That's the mark of greatness. If you can live 50 years beyond your death date, like have you done enough work?
That's right.
To be that valuable and that impactful that you've touched enough lives that I'm at 39, someone that's 18 will talk about you for the next, like, no, this was, so that allows your legacy to live on.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? As a teacher and things like that. So like, what do you build that lives on beyond you is something I've learned to take into consideration with the grief journey.
What does joy look like for you today?
Ooh. Enjoying the moment. Just being in the moment, traveling. That's one thing. But it's so weird because the joyful moments bring pain. Like my success hurts.
Same more.
So to give you an idea of like the timeline, the day before I started my career job is the night Trouble died. Trouble died June 5th. I started the job June 6th. And you talk about the before and after. I didn't have a stable income at that moment. I had to move back in with my mom. I've been living in Buckhead ever since. He's never seen the joy. He's never even seen me have my own spot like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, to be able to do the things that I'm doing, I'm having a ball. But at the same time, my success bothers me because it's like, my dogs ain't here to see it. And I lost like a few that I'm like, really would love to see these moments and travel with. And, you know, I dedicated my book to them. You know what I mean? Like I'm still having joy in those moments. Doing purposeful work, being in a healthy relationship. I find so much joy in that companionship in the relationship. And so yeah, my purpose, my relationship, and traveling. I think those are my three things I look for joy. Like just seeing the world, like, and understanding there's so much that I haven't seen outside of 285. And so being able to see the Caribbean so many different times and see so many of us up and down the coast. So yeah, I find my joy and my purpose doing my work, you know, being a feminist, making the community aware. But traveling.
What would you say grief took from you? But what would you say grief gave to you?
Oof. What did grief take from me? A lot. And again, I think the trajectory of my life changed. It took a lot of joy from me. I'm not gonna lie. It took a lot of my spunk. I'm just now getting that back. I'll be honest with you. I'm just now getting back to feeling like myself, and it's been like 3 or 4 years. But what did I gain? I think I gained a sense of grace for others. I think that's the biggest thing to give. You never know what other people are going through.
Right.
And you see so many crash out situations these days that I'm like, man, I bet you there was something so much deeper than what that situation was.
Bro.
Like I've been able to see that now. Like, you really hurt, bro. Like we're really hurt people, and we've normalized our trauma.
Right. We've
normalized so much pain, like it's a regular thing, and some of us explode.
Yeah.
And so I've been able to really see that in others, and be able to be like, I see you. And I think like I've seen so many people going through, like starting the grief journey. I'm like, ooh.
You don't even know what you went for.
Boy, I've been feeling for him. Like, God, like, ooh, like you lost. That's gonna be tough, dog. Like, that's not gonna be easy. I'm trying to like. So I think I've gained a sensitivity.
Yeah.
I think I've removed that toxic masculinity in me to give others a space to be vulnerable. Like, to see that, like,
Boy, some people, let me tell you, grief will whip your ass into being a better human, or it will whip your ass into being the biggest asshole that gives no dams about nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like a two-way street in this thing.
Yeah, and it's extreme opposite.
Because grief can bring out the worst in people,
it did.
bro.
It brought the worst out in me.
Okay.
I'm be honest.
Okay.
I'll be honest. That first year, I ain't want to hear nobody complain about nothing. Shut the fuck up, you alive. Shut the fuck up, you living. I don't want to. Can you figure that shit out?
Right.
Cause you alive.
Right.
So we can work through that. It's not life or death. I remember one time, bro, and even my and me and my home, we're still cool to this day, right? And I remember one of the worst moments, and I had to really check myself. And I went through 2023, the year after, saying like I had to be emotionally unavailable for people because I was so mean.
Ooh.
I was like my girlfriend now would tell me like, bro, you were a really mean person back then. I was like, yeah, I was.
I might have been told that once.
I was very mean. I remember, bro, I remember one of my homegirls, and we've been friends for like 20 years. And her grandfather passed away. He was like 90. I was like, 90? like what the fuck? Like, he lived.
You had time with him.
Like, I'm talking about 33 and 37, like 35. I'm talking about, I got 10 friends that didn't live to see 40.
Right.
And you talking to me about 90? But I didn't understand the magnitude of her relationship. He raised her.
Right.
And that really hurt her. And I was like, damn, I was fucked up for that. And that's when I really realized, I was like, oh man, I'm really becoming an evil person. Like, you couldn't complain about nothing to me for like a year, to like 2024. Like, the 2022 was terrible. And then when we went through in 2023, made it worse. And so like that whole year and a half, I was like, leave me the fuck alone.
Ain't got nothing for nobody.
I don't have a ounce of care about you. And then being the community leader that I am, people lean on me so much. And I was like, leave me
the
fuck alone. Like, I got my own problems right now. And people still are hitting me up about their problems.
Bro, transparently, yo.
Really?
I think in a lot of ways, bro, that's how I became to feel about a lot of things that people would champion in the activism space. Being emotionally withdrawn from being like in the front line. And every time something popped up, we on it. We amplifying it. We trying to make it right as best we can in hindsight. That was the thing. Then when it became not my business for a while because I'm focused on my own.
Yeah.
I had come to kind of see from a distance that a few things like, people are outraged about something different all the time.
Yeah. Yes.
Like collectively.
Yes.
Like all the time. That is exhausting.
Yeah.
Right? The other thing is, man, people love to see their advocates and their people upset, heartbroken, outraged, and angry.
Yeah. And
what I also have learned is like people feel entitled to your outrage. So whatever the thing is that's going on that everybody on, they feel like you are absolutely supposed to be on that too.
Why haven't you posted about this?
Correct. And so like from taking a step back, that actually got me to like this place where, I fight for what I believe in.
Yeah.
I believe in a lot of other things, and I believe there are people designed to fight for those things. You know what I'm saying? But like I stay within my capacity in my lane.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And I don't have no guilt about it.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. And a lot of times there's people who ain't done nothing that's the ones asking you why you ain't doing it right now.
Bro, I'm tired, bro. Tapped in, bro. It's your turn.
Participate. You show up. I give you some directions, but I'm drained.
Because even in the midst of going through the stuff that I'm going through, guess what? I'm still doing what? I'm still doing the work. Even in the midst of all the stuff that we went through, hell, still raise money to get kids swimming lessons. Still raise money to get kids college scholarships. Still like did work through the hurt.
Right.
But man, like, you're not going to get me to be jumping up and down by every single little thing that's going on out there. You're not going to get me to talk about what Trump talking about every single goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to control what I can control.
Yeah.
They fooling around with education and whatnot. Well, let me do what I can to safeguard these babies out here in Atlanta public schools because I can control that.
Do your part, yeah.
Do our part, man. That's what I think a lot more of us should do. All right. I want to do a rapid fire round.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to ask you just not some one word type joints, right? Hero, you want to be a thing here too? Oh, all right. Let's go. All right. You with us too. All right. So one word that describes your grief today.
One word that describes my grief today. Heart-wrenching.
One word that described it in the beginning.
Unbelievable.
That's a good word.
Unbelievable.
That's a good word. What smell reminds you of someone you've lost?
So there's a funny thing. I have a bottle of Trouble's old cologne. So there's a cologne that he wore that I have a bottle of. that I don't wear that often anymore. But yeah,
That was that one.
That smell for sure. For smell, that would be it. Yeah.
What song takes you back every time?
Whew. Ready. Trouble's performer. I've seen him perform Ready 100 times. I've seen him perform Brick 100 times. I've seen him perform She a Winner 100 times. So those songs, but also those are like visual imagery in my mind, like the photogenic thing. But I think like that Look What You've Done song is a trigger for my grandmother. Like so it's just different things. There's also Kodak song called, I think, Vulnerable. Yeah. But that Trouble put me on to.
Okay.
And so that's something that triggers. Yeah. That resonates.
What's one thing that people get wrong about grief?
That it has a timetable.
Yeah.
That it's going to be that you will get over it. Nah, that's not how that works. Like I think getting over it is something that you don't do.
Yeah, I would probably say like that time heals all.
Yeah, that's that.
That boy, that's such a lie.
Yeah, it gets a lot worse. It is a lot.
Such a lie.
Yeah,
such a lie. Because I'll be like, bro, you know,
all the cliche things that people say is really the bullshit. Like,
yeah.
It's like and then everyone says it, and that begins to. That's a whole nother thing. The cliche things become annoying.
Oh, bro, like, yo, you know what really got me? I don't know how you so strong.
Do I have a choice?
It's strong.
Yeah.
This ain't strong. This is just not quitting.
I remember having a quote I had a screensaver that said, "You don't know how strong you are, to being strong is your only option."
Amen.
What other choice do I have? Give up?
What's the best thing that somebody did for you while you were grieving?
So when Trouble first died, my sister's the actress Gail Bean, and P Valley had just came out. He died the weekend of the premiere of P Valley. And that weekend, she stayed on my girlfriend's couch to make sure I was okay. While her big show was premiering on, what is that, HBO? Showtime? I don't know what. P Valley.
Is it Bravo?
No, P Valley was premium stations. Just like HBO, Showtime.
Yo, we gotta cut that out, bro, because Gail gonna be like, what?
I'm not.
Hey, Chris, what channel P Valley came on? P Valley.
See, yeah,
sorry.
It's a premium.
Well, I said, what was it on Bravo? He said, no, it was on one of the premium channels.
HBO. And
That's right. Hey, Gail, hey, G baby. I don't mean to disrespect.
But yeah, I think like just the way she showed up in the moment, she didn't let me out of her sight probably for like that whole month. Like even most people don't know, like she was at the funeral. She was at the park. She had a mask on though, because she was just trying to be low key. But like just her in that moment, really was probably like the nicest gesture, because she could have went on. I'm talking about, I was in that mode where I couldn't sleep. I couldn't rest. I would sit outside, smoke and drink all night. I have a picture in my phone or video where she's laying on the porch, covered up on the blanket like 3 a.m. asleep. And just to be there.
Yeah.
Just being present. Like didn't have to say, didn't have to do. It just was like, I know you're crushed and I know you're crazy. And I don't want you to go off the deep end. Yeah. So let me just keep my eyes on you.
Yeah.
And so just being there, or being present.
You know, I will say, man, as a friend, this supposed to be rapid fire, but it ain't so rapid. It's gonna have to be rapid in the edit. As a friend, bro, like, you know, in the days after us losing Bryce, like, hell, you stayed on our couch for like a month, damn near. And
I think I was returning the energy. You know what I'm saying? I had seen that's what someone else, I saw that's what I needed. And yeah, I remember.
Not for us, it felt great to have somebody to count on, right? Who's just there, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the best point, right? Like a lot of times people think like there's a right thing to say or a right thing to do, and the reality is that the best thing to do is literally to just be there. Because when you think about it, right, like when people are heartbroken, and they're so like, I'm talking about heartbroken, like absolutely dejected, disappointed by like another person, the biggest thing that they say in the middle of the sob is, you weren't there for me. Right. It's not, you didn't give me $1 million. It's not, you didn't, right? Like it's no other thing other than, yo, you weren't present.
Yeah.
And the presence means so much. I remember, Julius and his wife, Parlay and Nisha being here, Cora being here, you being here, Mina being here, right? Like, having the core nucleus people who, by the way, all the same people we was in the front lines with.
Yeah.
Right? All through 2020. Like, just having folks be present. Ain't nobody tasking you, asking like so many questions about how they could serve you so they could center their usefulness.
Right.
Because that shit is annoying as hell. Like, you want to be present so you can feel valuable.
Yeah. You want to do something for me. I don't need
when in reality, like, yo, just kick it.
Yeah. And whatever is needed will happen while you just being there. You just have to show up with no intention.
No agenda.
Just to be present. And I got some free time in my day. I just wanted to see what you got going on.
Yeah.
And just being there, and you'll be able to see what that person needs. There's no right thing to say. There's no right thing to do. Just being present is enough. And
being present is only everything.
And that's the most valuable thing. It's just, like I said, I remember everyone showing up at the event space, and like, I mentally was not here, but I remember wearing shades for like a month, like day and night. I kept shades. I was crying so much. I kept shades on 24/7 because my eyes were so dark and so angry, and I just would like, I was so hurt. So like, it was just, I never forget who was there. I also don't forget the people who showed up for the attention.
Yeah.
It was weird. I remember, it was a lot that happened.
What was the worst thing somebody ever did for you while you were grieving?
I went through a manic episode while I was grieving. And in that time, I was offline for about a week, and someone took that opportunity to broadcast that they had the opportunity to be around me and my family. And even though I wasn't aware because I was having a manic episode, my family was so angry that I could never be cool with that person again. Like, and then I had and I had some crazy shit happen. I've had some crazy shit happen. I remember another friend almost died while I was grieving, like maybe like 5 or 6 days after trouble. And I tried to have a one-on-one with that person, and after they almost died, and to just like have a brother-to-brother moment, and he felt like I was a little boy in him. And so I think to grieve the death of someone that's alive while grieving, well, not the death, but the disconnection from a 20-year friendship.
But you can grieve the loss of a friendship.
I've lost
friendships through how they're navigating the grief thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's who you really are.
Yeah.
I'm cool on that.
I'm cool on the attention that you're looking for that comes with being around me. All right. I don't go seeking attention. It happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, I'm cool with it. But to know that people want to gain some type of traction, a clickbait thing off of what you're going through, that's difficult to deal with when you finally come to and be like, I think that one of the biggest things is losing the friendships that are of people who are still alive.
Yeah.
It's been like the worst part of the grief. Is like, damn, I have about 5 to 10 friends who at that time I was probably cool with, who I'm not cool with 4 years later. And it's just like for different reasons. But I think that's been the hardest part is to lose good friends, but then also not have good friends that are still here.
What's one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who's in the beginning of their grief journey?
Be honest with yourself. Be honest with what you feel. I think we try to pack it away and disguise it and try not to be as hurt as we are. And I think so many people push their healing back so far without being honest. Like, bro, you really hurt, bro. And that's so being okay with not being okay.
That part.
Like, bro, I'm like accepting I'm hurt.
Right.
I think like that was the hardest part at the beginning. It's like, I've never been somebody that's ever been depressed before. I didn't know it. I used to be like, oh, I don't really miss people. Whew, that changed. So I think like being honest with yourself is the hardest part. It's like, yeah, bro, I'm not who I was. And that's hard to accept. It's hard to rebuild yourself. And to say, yeah, I don't have the same spark or energy I had in 2021 or 2022.
Right.
Like a part of me is missing.
Right.
That's real. And I think that's the part that you at the beginning don't want to accept. I think the denial is so real.
Yeah.
You want to be so tough but like I said, depending on how much you love that person and how much normalcy they bring to your life, it will leave a space there.
What's the most beautiful thing that grief has given you that you wish you never had to receive?
The relationship with Trouble's kids and his mom. I mean, I'm probably sure I would have had a relationship. I've had a relationship with him.
Right.
But not to this magnitude.
I mean, it's something different.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, I talk to his mom at least once or twice a week. Same with the kids. They give me so much energy. Yeah. I can feel his spirit within them.
Yeah.
When I talk to him, like his mom, like I can see that she molded that boy. Like her energy is so in tune with his.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps like every time I talk to her.
Yeah.
Like the relationship I have with his mom is so. It's so I love Miss Kathy to death. Like,
yeah, shout out Miss Kathy.
Miss Kathy's so real. Like, she's so real. So, like, she literally, if y'all have ever seen how he talks and acts, he gets everything from his mom. Like, she acts just like
every real one had a real mom.
Like, they act exactly.
Every real one had a real mom, man.
I mean, and she keep it so real with me.
Yeah.
And we cry on the phone so often to be able to go through our grief and like to be able to be like. Be so transparent about your pain with somebody. It's been a healing journey for me, but also the relationship with his kids. Like, yeah, like those are my god babies, man. I they're only 7. Well, Jamari just turned 8, so and Marley be 8 in November. But those relationships and his sister as well, Toya. But I think. His mom, his kids, I have a really dynamic relationship with. Yeah. And it really, like I said, never could have expected it, but it's so rewarding and healing for me to be able to see pieces of him through their experiences.
If you could have 5 more minutes with somebody you lost, who would you spend it with and what would you do?
Ooh. If I could have 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
I think. Oh, that's a difficult one. I've lost so many people, and I'm trying to like. You only get 5 minutes. What would I discuss? Because of the relationship with Trouble, it would probably have to be him. Because we had talked that night, like. We had things that we were planning, like we had ideas we were working on. I wish, we had the opportunity to navigate the plan to look like longevity, I guess. I think, yeah, like, I think that was so shocking. Like I really didn't understand I talked to this dude at 11 o'clock and he was pronounced dead at 3 a.m. So when I went to sleep that night, like he was okay. And when I woke up, it was life-changing. So 5 more minutes of just our business conversations. Like we talked about everything, but we really had to really started working on Smart Trouble. We had 2 business licenses and a nonprofit we were working on at the time. And so, I don't know, like I said, with Ridge as well, with T Ridge, he was a and he had just experienced a similar death. So it might be Ridge. I would say that because Ridge lost a friend, Dez, in April of 2022. And then Trouble died in June of 2022. And so Ridge was a person that I was kind of leaning on in that moment. And he ended up dying Thanksgiving of 2022. And so I think like navigating that space with like grief, I think that he was the first person that told me like, this ain't normal, bro. Like what you're going through right now is not normal.
Yeah.
And I think I miss those words of wisdom. So I don't even know if it'll be 5 minutes. Like, yeah, that 5-minute thing is kind of the tricky part.
If you were to write a chapter in a book called What Grief Taught Me,
that'd be a whole book.
Would your
one chapter?
What would your chapter be about? What did grief teach you?
So much. There was only one chapter. What did grief teach me? To give others grace. Because you don't know what they're going through. And no, I think I would write about how normal Black people grieve. Like the normalcy of it.
Right.
And we never unpack that trauma.
Right.
And that would be what my one chapter would be about, is like death is so common that we're desensitized to it.
Right.
But the person that's experiencing it is not.
Right.
And so I think my one chapter would be about that. I think like how we've normalized our trauma as Black people. And we go through so much and we're expected to just continue to go. And if you really have a deep love for a person, it's really hard to continue to go.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think would be about, the normalcy of what we think grief is and how we don't address it and how we don't unpack it.
As we start coming to a close, if there is somebody who's listening tonight that is in the midst of a grief journey, what would you want them to hear before we go?
What I said it before is to be honest with yourself. Acknowledge what you feel. Acknowledge what you feel. And you don't have to acknowledge it in front of others, but that mirror work possibly, or journaling something. Find some type of outlet to really unpack what you're feeling. I think processing it and unpacking it and being vulnerable with who or just by yourself is what I would want people to do, is to be able to process that pain. And that's the only way you begin to heal, is working through it and acknowledging it and not trying to dismiss it.
Well, ain't that a word, man. Brother, I just want to say, look, thank you for an abundance of transparency. Thank you for, saying yes when I called you to have this conversation. Like, not every day can you call somebody and say, hey, man, you want to have a conversation about grief?
Sure. Well, shit, I was going through it anyway. I mean, might as well do some content. Hey,
like that ain't the norm. Like that ain't. Trouble ain't calling you to for that way. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the normal homeboy call.
But you know what's crazy is we've had those conversations.
Amen.
And and that's the thing. Like I remember, and my dad talks about it. He's like, I remember you saying he was thinking about getting a therapist because he was been through so much. You know what I'm saying? He didn't feel like he had a unbiased outlet. Who didn't look for him for a thing and really express himself. Yeah, I think that's the mark of friendships too. Like how vulnerable can you be and honest can you be, or can you just be a a party friend. We gonna hop on the hoes. They're like, we getting up there now. I'm 39. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't exciting anymore. It's about healing. It's about legacy. It's about that journey through life with lifelong friends.
Hey man, we trying to live a life worth grieving.
Impact.
I say, cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for tapping in for episode 1 of Good Grief. This was a, honest, transparent, authentic conversation, type of conversations that we need to be having, where we can be honest about what grief looks like for us and what the journey is and what is not, how people should show up for us, how maybe people could show up better. This, I think, is something that a lot of people need to hear. So I need you to like, I need you to subscribe, I need you to share, I need you to comment, and I need you to make sure that people know about this good grief conversation that's happening over here. So we only got one way to do this, and that's together. Let's go.